Disinfect frequently touch doorknobs and light switches. The choices you make are critical, and their impact is significant.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, all day Saturday. This is everyone's favorite Bulldog Blue Jazz from the Capitals.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Capitals. Big Pop.
Start time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul. This is Start Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae out, K-Fox night.
Looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the block.
Fresh juice, the money in there.
Myself to the room.
Taylor Hart.
This is Sincere, the Northwest Rap Gang.
DJ Medina. Gotcha. Northwest Rap.
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell them who we
Sea Monster Radio. Yo,
We're live. Welcome to Mojo Mondays. This is KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Mojo Mondays.
just like God is inspiration all day and all night. Saturday, Rainier Avenue Radio.
A new law is helping people save more money on prescription drug costs. You may also be able to save with Medicare's Extra Help program. Your premium cost can be zero and your out-of-pocket expenses are low. Who should apply? Single individuals earning less than $23,000 a year or married couples earning less than $31,000 a year. Even if you don't think you qualify, still check out this program. Visit ssa.gov/extra help. Medicare costs are covered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you ready for this?
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world, the station that cares about our community.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining another marvelous episode of Real Estate Money. I'm one of the hosts, my name is Tina Lombard. I'm with Novus Home Mortgage. I'm here today to answer all your Christmas questions when it comes to buying a house or selling a house or getting a mortgage for the holiday season. And Violeta should be joining us shortly. If not, it's because she's probably in Hawaii and her son is getting married. So we'll just take it from there. But anyways, how is everybody doing today? How are you doing with your end of the year finances? And if you're searching, and if you're trying to buy a home, just end of year all around questions. Well, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you do have all your papers set for the end of the year. Now, Christmas actually is a very, very good time, or at least the Christmas season is a very good time, not only to buy Christmas gifts and to be with your loved ones and all that sort of thing, but you're going to be preparing for the end of the year as far as taxes are concerned. So we have until December 31st to be talking about what are we going to write off for the year of 2024? What can we deduct from our income? What income did we make? What are our sources of income? All that good stuff. What interest did we pay? What are deductible? What are some of the items that are deductible for our taxes? So, the end of the year actually is a very, very good time for people to actually get up and get better financing and buying a house at the end of the year. Now, as we stated in other shows previous this month, we talked about how the end of the year is a very, very wonderful time for you to go out there and make an offer on a house. A lot of times sellers are very concerned about selling their house before the end of the year because they have tax write-offs and they do have reasons to sell on this side of December 31st. So a lot of the times you'll have sellers who are very motivated to buy new property and to actually sell their property they've had on the market for maybe the last 2 or 3 months. So, I just had a girlfriend yesterday tell me she's a very famous realtor up there in Boulder, but she had a house, an open house market on Thanksgiving Day and the weekend afterwards. And the seller said, hey, who's going to buy a house on Thanksgiving Day? And my friend said, hey, the person who wants this house will buy the house on Thanksgiving Day. So needless to say, she did open up the house for an open house during Thanksgiving weekend. Saturday, one family came in. That one family put an offer on the home, and that one family bought that home. Now, what did we learn from the story? The end of the year sellers sometimes are just like, whatever, just whatever, I give up. And a lot of times, if you are looking for a house, there's not going to be a lot of people knocking on that same door. There's not going to be a lot of people trying to make an offer and outbidding you on that same home. A lot of times the sellers are very motivated. They got that one buyer, and that one buyer is giving them asking price or just, marking off all the buttons that the seller needs. You're going to get that property. My house, both of my houses I bought late in November and actually closed late in December, if not on January, because I did get the best deals. So we want to make sure that if you are looking for a home, don't wait for New Year's Eve. Don't wait for that magic 1/1/2025. Who cares? But what we can care about, what we do know about right now, is that the malls are going to be empty. As far as mortgages are concerned, the malls will be empty. The traffic is going to be sparse, and you'll be able to get that house, especially if it snows. You're going to be able to get that house, and there's not going to be any competition. You may even be able to come in below asking price, and since there's nobody there, a lot of times the seller will say, hey, I don't want to make 3 more payments on this mortgage. That equals $15,000. Take it. Take it for $15,000 less. So make sure that you know about your bargaining power the last couple of weeks of Christmas. So one of the benefits, of course, is getting a better price at Christmas time. A lot of times, just getting your family and everybody into your home for Christmas Eve and also for New Year's Eve is very, very nice to get everybody on board and getting the mortgage lenders on board, getting your realtors on board, and closing before the end of the holidays. A lot of times at the end of the year, a lot of mortgage companies are waiting for business. We're still up and running, and we still want business to go. We're still retail, and we'll get 1 or 2 loans that are hard loans. And in a normal time, in like June or something like that, some loans can get pushed aside or not get as much attention as they could. So if you're having a difficult time getting a loan, you're not getting the attention you need, December is a very good month to actually put an application in and have lenders work on your loan. We don't have, 15 loans in our pipeline right now. Maybe we have 8 loans in our pipeline, or maybe we have 4 loans in our pipeline, and we're about ready to go on vacation. So a lot of times lenders, escrow companies, insurance companies, title companies, all the vendors that are associated with buying a new home, a lot of times their business is a little slow, and they will have more time to spend on your particular loan. Now, I'm not saying that we wouldn't do your loan any other time, but instead of taking 40 days, maybe we can do that loan in 25 days. Instead of taking 30 days, maybe we can do that loan in 2 weeks. Because there's nobody there. There's absolutely nobody there. So this is a very good time to get special attention would be in December. I'm just sitting in my office. We had a couple of vendors that came in, somebody from Magic, MGIC, some other people that came in, and they just gave us cookies, end of the year, Starbucks cards, that sort of thing. And, nobody's really, hammered from 9 to 5. So it's a very good time to come in and get very, very good attention. Now, the most important thing for people, if you are debating whether to close December 31st, or after January 1st, would be the taxes. If you refinance, perhaps you can write off your taxes this year in 2024. You can write it off for the 2024 tax year instead of waiting a whole nother year. So this is a very good time to refinance so you can get your taxes done this year. And so what I have for you here, and Daniel will help me pull it up, the first link that I sent, it talks about the benefits of buying a home right before Christmas and during the holidays. So look at that beautiful tree. Okay. Take advantage of the end of year tax benefits. So one of the most compelling reasons to buy a home before December 31st is the potential to capitalize on tax benefits for the current year. Home buyers can deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, and even some closing costs from their taxable income, potentially resulting in significant savings on their tax bill. So that's first and foremost. If you have the opportunity of closing December 28th versus January 1st, go December 28th, okay? What it says here also, in print, less competition in the market. The real estate market typically slows down in buyer activity during the holiday season. Families are less likely to move during the school year, and the cooler weather can deter casual buyers. This reduction in competition means that serious buyers will have more negotiating power and a better chance of securing their desired property. So once again, when you've got less competition, you can actually put an offer on the house that you like and that you want. In times where it's very, very, very competitive, sometimes it's not too uncommon for there to be 10 other offers on that one property. And just the very recent past, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or any time before that, somebody put an offer on the house. I guarantee you, if that house was desirable, there were 5 other offers that same day within the same hour. And you have to act fast. When a market like this during Christmas time, everybody's in the Bahamas, everybody's drinking hot toddies, everybody's just, partying, what have you. Happy hours are on the splurge right now. A lot of times, there's nobody actually making an offer with you. There's nobody on Saturday. There's nobody on Sunday. They're out there shopping for homes. And so when you come in and you make an offer, you are taken very seriously. So this less competition is a very big deal. Motivated sellers eager to close. Sellers who list their homes during the fall and winter months are more often motivated to close quickly. So they can actually relocate for a job, looking for a final sale at the holidays, or wanting to avoid carrying the property into the next year. So there's this kind of a hump. If you put a house on the market in October and it doesn't sell November, it doesn't sell December, it doesn't sell, you're kind of like, the January comes along, and listen, some of these sellers are like, I'm gone. I've got my new job in Albuquerque. I'm moving to Las Vegas. I'm retiring. I don't have time for this. January 1st is a big thing in their head, and they just do not want to waste their time after January 1st. So a lot of times, sellers are very eager to close, so they'll help you negotiate, locking in lower interest rates. Now, I've been saying this for the last 16 years, the last 30 years. At the end of the year, a lot of times mortgage rates dip a little bit because of the slow activity, and mortgage lenders want to, get that little push for more activity before the end of the year. So look at lowering your interest rates, or look at getting a lower interest rate at the very end of the year. A realistic view of the home's condition. Now, this is something that is not very commonly known, but you look at something in the spring and everything looks all tidy and everything looks green and the house is beautiful, the roof is beautiful, clean. But in the wintertime, if there's any leaks in that roof, the leaks will show. If there's any flooring or anything that's not insulated during the winter, it will show. If you have any crazy landscaping or anything in your house during the wintertime, it will show. It will show. Now, when I bought my house, there was kind of snow on the ground, but a lot of times people don't realize that where they buy, when the snow hits, there's like 3 feet of snow, and they're very upset with their idea. So, you want to go during a great big giant snowstorm if you live in places like Colorado to see how the snow is going to affect your commute and your family. So in the wintertime is a very, very good time to show exactly what the home's condition is. So you can be able to make a decision based on that. Moving in before the new year. Closing a home before the end of the year allows you to start the new year at a new home, avoiding the stress of moving during the holidays and the dead of winter. So a lot of times people want to start with a clean slate in the middle of January. In the middle of December 31st and January 1st. There is a big demarcation in the way we think. Personally, January 1st is the first day of the rest of our lives. So for people mentally, moving before the end of the year, it gives them the opportunity to have a fresh start starting January 1st. Okay, so that's all I have there for this little this link here. But it just reiterates the things I've been saying for years. Do not wait until March 1st. Do not wait until February 15th. Do not wait until January 15th. If you want to buy a home, you want to go in the depths of wintertime during the holidays when nobody's paying attention. That is the best time to get a Black Friday deal. Okay, so let's talk about really quick. What are some of the things? What are some of the places in 2025 that you can look at to invest in property? So what I have there is I have another link there, and it talks about some of the best places to look for property. And we have here Rockford, Illinois. It talks about the average home value. The 2023 average home value at $176,000, and now the average home value is $195,000. So you can see almost a $20,000 increase in homes in Rockford, Illinois. So that's a very good place to buy. And what else do we have there? We also have Syracuse, New York. And you can see from 2023 to 2024, the average home price went from $215,000 to $238,000. So that is positive growth. When your value change is 10.75%, and that's pretty good. Okay, and the value of the home, $23,000. Next, we've got San Jose, California. Okay, it looks like here, $1.4 million in 2023, but as of 2024, $1.5 million, and that's a 10.71 increase. All right, and what else we have here? Okay, Hartford, Connecticut. You see the values there, $333,000 home value in 2023. 2024 it went up to $365,000. That's a 9.43% increase, and a home change of an average of $31,000. Not so bad, Connecticut. Okay, what else do we have here, Daniel? We've got Birmingham, New York. Okay, the average price in 2023 was $169,000, and now 2024, $185,000. So that's an increase of 9.19%, an average of $50,000 per year. Okay, what else do we have here? All right, New Haven. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling all the way down, Daniel. Let's just keep scrolling and see what we have here. Birmingham, New York, Connecticut. Wonderful. Let's keep on going. We have Atlantic City, New Jersey. Let's keep on going. We have Trenton, New Jersey. Okay, East Coast. Okay, East Coast. Connecticut, once again, Bridgeport, Connecticut. And Salisbury. This is also Connecticut. East Coast is going very good. Let's keep going. San Diego. Let's stop right there. San Diego, the average price was $872,000 in 2023. And now, 2024, it's $942,000. So you buy a house in San Diego, it looks like here it's going to increase by 8%. So that's amazing. Okay, an average yearly change of $70,000 in that area. Great, let's keep going. Let's see if we can go all the way down the bottom, Daniel. Let's kind of see the last 3 or 4 there. So there's places, you keep scrolling down, there's places, where you want to buy, and there's places where, it's the average is not going up that much. So why would you invest something if it's going to go down by 10% or whatever, let 12% or what have you. Now, as we go completely down here, there's a lot of houses that you see here. They are still continually all over the United States going up. So Ohio is in the house. We got Wisconsin. And let me see where else is there here. Is that it? Okay, let's just stop here. Let's pull back up to Wisconsin there, Daniel. So you see in Wisconsin there, yeah, Green Bay, Wisconsin. It looks like the average value in 2023 was $289,000, and now in 2024 it's $310,000. 7.19 increase in home value in the last year, and a one-time home value change of $20,000. So thank you, Danny. Thank you for showing that. What we're trying to reiterate here, there are some places in the United States still, when you buy, it's not guaranteed, but when you buy, there's a great likelihood of the house increasing by 10%, by 12%, by 7%, who cares? It's increasing, it's going that way. What are we getting on interest rates now in the bank? What, 2% or something in our bank? So if you do buy a house and your house is increasing by 10.79%, that's a better rate of return than it is if you were to get an instrument that was less than 10%, like a checking account or a money market account. So if you have money sitting around, it's very exciting to get into to real estate, because one year it's $200,000, next year it's $220,000, the year after that is $260,000. Before you know it, you're deep in wealth when it comes to real estate. So there are places in the United States where the values are flat, they're not going anywhere, or the values are kind of going downward. So if you're looking for a house as a primary home and you're looking at it as a way to gain wealth, you want to be in an area where the economy is very good, where the political atmosphere is very good, where the education is very good, all the natural amenities are good, such as water, such as heat, such as homes. Depending on where you live, you want to talk to a good realtor. There are some places, let's say in Denver and Colorado, where the property values are just going through the ceiling. Year after year, that neighborhood is going up. There's some places where it's kind of dry. So you want to find, and it could be not just cities in a state, it could be counties in a state, it could be neighborhoods in a city. So it's very, very, very beneficial for you to talk to a good realtor and find out where's the best place for your dollars to gain. If you just say, hey, I want to buy a house next to my sister, that's great. But what if your sister's living in a neighborhood where the values are going down or they're going flat? That's not going to be beneficial. The best thing to do is get your realtor and find a good neighborhood, pull your sister out of her neighborhood and have her come live with you, or live next to you. But you want to make sure there are some properties in 2025 that have gone up, that are doing very well historically, and there are some that are going flat. So make sure you understand the market when you do buy a house, where you're going to put your money, where you're going to invest, and what the ramifications would be as far as gaining wealth and your property appreciating. Now, one last thing we're going to talk about here is our taxes and what you can write off at the end of the year. So Daniel, can you pull that up really quick? This is from NerdWallet. It says, what is mortgage interest rate reduction? The mortgage interest rate deduction is a deduction for interest paid on mortgage debt. People who take the standard deduction on their returns cannot take advantage of the tax rate because blah, blah, blah. Anyways, okay, at the end of the year, let's say you buy a house. You buy a house at $500,000. Okay, let's say the payments are $5,000 a month in principal and interest. Let's say $4,000 of that actually goes to interest, because the first couple of years, most of the payment goes to interest. So let's say an average of $4,000 a month from your monthly payment goes towards the interest. So if 4,000 times 12, that's $48,000. You take that little mortgage interest statement, you take it down to your tax person, and they can use that as a deduction on your taxes. So what happens? Let's say you have a $5,000 mortgage payment, principal and interest only, $5,000, and you have a place. You have a gorgeous penthouse, and it's $5,000 a month. Okay. The $5,000 a month rent doesn't really have a tax write-off. Just throw that out the window, okay? But the $5,000 a month that you're paying towards a mortgage debt, there are tax benefits for that. So a lot of times when you can afford a house of $5,000 a month in rent, most, depending on your tax bracket, let's say, you could probably afford a $6,500 home because there are no taxes taken out of that rent. But if you find a mortgage, you're actually going to have tax benefits. So let me see here. So let's talk about this. Is mortgage interest deductible? In general, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we have these young people here. They're working for Amazon. They're working for Boeing. They're working for Starbucks. They're making $185,000 a year right out of college. Boom, 27 years old, $180,000 a year, and they're just footloose, fancy free. They're running around. They don't have a car or nothing. But what they do have are taxes. They have no kids. They're not married. They don't have a business. So they're giving everything to Uncle Sam. So if you are a parent and you have a child that's 27 years old, $31,000 a month, they're working somewhere, they're getting paid $100,000, $250,000, and they have no home to have a tax benefit or a tax write-off, they're basically shooting themselves in the foot. You can take their tax bracket and minus that tax bracket from their income because that's what they're burning. They're not getting any deductions, whatever. So this right here talks about mortgage interest being deductible. Okay, there are some limits. It says if you can deduct mortgage interest if you pay during the tax year on the first $750,000. Okay, so this is good. Okay, let's keep going. If you bought the house before 2017, there are some benefits, or there's some guidelines that change if you bought your house before 2017. And it says here mortgage interest rate deduction example. And it says here, if you got an $800,000 mortgage to buy a house in 2017 and you paid $25,000 in interest on that loan during 2024, you probably can deduct $25,000 of that mortgage interest. I'm going to say that again. You probably can deduct $25,000 of that mortgage interest. Okay. So if you're renting and you have the same income as this person, you will not have a $25,000 deduction at the end of the year. And that's just one of these mortgage interest rate examples. Okay, what qualifies for mortgage interest deduction? And it says here the IRS publication 936 has all the details, okay? But in a nutshell, it says here the property can be a house, a co-op, a condo, a mobile home, a house trailer, houseboat, or apartment. The home has to be collateralized for a loan. And the house must have sleeping, cooking, and toilet facilities to count. And if you have a non-taxable housing allowance from the military or through the ministry, you can still deduct your mortgage interest. Okay, so this is what qualifies for a mortgage interest benefit at the end of the year. So I'm going to say it once again. And thank you so much, Daniel. I'm going to say this once again. If you're making $150,000 a year, if you're making $60,000 a year or $20,000, if you are renting and you're making good money and you're looking for a tax write-off, you don't have any kids, or maybe you have one or two kids, I don't know, but you're making really good money. You're making $125,000, your wife is making $90,000 a year, and you're renting some cute little high-rise. Well, guess what? In 10 years, you're going to still have a cute little high-rise. But if you actually went and bought a property, bought a house, you can exemplify your income by actually gaining wealth. You can buy a condo at $500,000, and 10 years from now, maybe it's worth $1.8 million. Okay, you'll have that $1.8 million in 10 years, where the person who's still renting will still be renting. So the benefit of one of the ways of growing wealth is actually to have a home and have your house appreciate. That's one way of getting appreciation and wealth, but also you've got the tax write-off. So if you're making $150,000 a year and you're in a 28% tax bracket, you need a tax write-off, okay? So buying a house, not only is it nice and it's great, it's wonderful, that sort, you can yell and scream and jump in your house and nobody can call the police or whatever. But if you are in a situation like that, it does behoove you to buy a house and get that tax write-off. At the end of the year is a good time to remind yourself that yes, let's build wealth through mortgages. Let's build wealth through housing. So, I always tell people this beautiful Christmas tree, all these beautiful presents underneath the Christmas tree. We're buying presents for our daughters, our sons, our husbands, our grandchildren, our neighbors, the co-worker at work. We're buying gifts, we're giving, we're donating, we're doing all types of different stuff. At the very end of the day, when we wake up in the morning, we look in the mirror and we see ourselves. And we do not really invest in ourselves. So I want to challenge you this year. If you don't have a house and you want to buy a house, buy yourself a house. Give yourself the gift of wealth. Give yourself the gift of tax benefits. Give yourself the gift of having a place where your children could call home, where you can bring people over and entertain people. You could have prayer meetings there. You could have disco parties there. But give yourself the biggest gift that you can. Build your wealth. Make sure you've got tax write-offs. Make sure you've got a home of peace that is a sanctuary to yourself. But give yourself a gift at the end of the year. That's what I want to challenge you with. And if you say, no, I'm not really important. I'm not really important. My kids are important. My husband's important. Great. Give a gift to them. Give a gift to your husband. Give yourself a gift to your family. But buy a gift for your house. If you don't have a house, buy a gift for yourself. You want to build wealth for your family. You want your kids to do better in school. You want to have tax benefits. When you retire, you want to pull some money out and have something for retirement so you can enjoy your elderly years. Buy yourself a house. Get yourself a gift. So I'm going to leave you with that. My number is 332-5986, and my NMLS number is 147594. I'm going to challenge you to give me a call. If you're looking for a realtor, give me a call. I'm in all 50 states. Find out what your buying power is. Find out what you can do. Or if you're in a house and you're sick of it, and you've outgrown it, or your kids have left, you want to find something that makes more sense, give me a call. The best place and the best way to gain knowledge and wealth is to pick up the phone and get yourself some information and partner yourself with some people who can actually help you obtain your mortgage and real estate dream. So anyways, thank you so much for joining another episode of Real Estate and Money. If you have any questions, of course, please give me or Violeta a call. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions. But until next time, my name is Tina Lombard, and this is Real Estate and Money.